The abandoned library. An old man was sitting at a bench by himself, and down on his luck. The old man loved to read, but he lost all of his books during a break-in one night while he was sleeping. The old man also loved to ride bikes, but his bike got stolen. The old man loved coffee, but his drink spilled all over him, causing third-degree burns. After thinking about all of his bad luck and problems he had, he started to weep. Crying must have been the worst possible choice for the man, because as soon he did, a baby started to cry with him. The woman that was carrying the baby looked so tired and aggravated that she kicked and screamed at the old man. "Stop crying!" she screamed at the man. Recognizing what happened, the old man ran as fast as he could to escape the loud sight. 2 hours later, he made it to the other side of the city. A dark, foggy alleyway with a bar right across the fence. He stopped there, and took 3 deep breaths. 1 exhale. He was bending down to catch himself, but noticed something in the distance. 2 exhales. He walked closer to it, the final exhale. He was at an abandoned library. Looked to be 50 years old. He walked closer and closer, until he could see the window. Out of curiosity, he stepped in. He was greeted by an awful stench that made him vomit. The old man saw something that caught his eye after he threw up. "My books!" he screamed out of pure joy. "My bicycle!" he screamed again. After grabbing his stuff, he noticed 2 things. A fresh cup of coffee, that looked to be new. How can that be the case? The old man thought to himself. The fresh cup of coffee looked to be filled with half and half, and tasted like an explosion of sugar. He immediately dropped the cup of coffee, and noticed something far out in the distance. He again took 3 breaths. 1 exhale. He finished cleaning the cup of coffee. 2 exhales. He was walking closer to the mysterious stench. Oh, that's where it was coming from. 3 exhales, he also noticed where that stench was coming from, and noticed a black sheet, and it looked to be filled with maggots. After holding his breath, he revealed a body. A decapitated head, with 2 worms feasting on the left eye, and 3 worms finishing on the right eye. The teeth had been covered by dirt and rocks. Like somebody had dragged him across a grassy field. The stomach was still intact, and looked new. But the only thing that stood out were the marks on his neck. Looked to be strangled. The old man sat down and began to rip out the teeth from the masked man who was still holding a book. The book had to be one of the old man's favorites. Ah yes. The Catcher in the Rye. He placed the book down, and sat by the toasty fireplace as he drank his broken cup of coffee.